Ah, people, I've just coined that the most embarrassing win in Manchester United history. Please, somebody tell me what's the most embarrassing win in Manchester United history? That's got to be the most embarrassing win in Manchester United history. And I'm not being superbly, I'm not being dramatic, I'm not being over the top here. That was, for 70 minutes, Manchester United had decent control. Because Coventry, especially in the first half, allowed us to have the control. But despite that, even when teams have given us control, we've lacked control ourselves. But boy. Yeah, Natalie, I can't even get angry anymore. Yeah. So first of all, we'll start off by saying congratulations to Coventry on a fantastic game. I thought they was very unlucky. They deserved to win that game. They played like a team. Well, you know what we are. We're a bunch of fucking strangers. That's what we are. We're a bunch of strangers. That's what we are as a football club. And yeah, it was quite shocking the way we played and the way we, when we come under any sort of pressure, the way we capitulate. We've been doing it all season, and we've been doing it, especially in the last 7 or 8 games. We've let teams back. And to be fair, they didn't even have to play that well. They played well in extra time, but they didn't have to play that well to get back into the game. So my heart goes out to the Coventry fans who got behind their team valiantly and and the players who responded by giving everything on the football pitch. And there you go. So it's a right way to lose or wrong way to lose. Coventry lost the right way. And we won in the most embarrassing way possible. What Anthony was doing, what Højlund is doing. I know Højlund is young, but what Anthony and Højlund were doing was embarrassing, celebrating like that. Yeah, it's just, yeah. Ten Hag, the game's not an embarrassment. I don't see that word. It's a huge achievement. We achieved 2 finals in 2 years. From the setbacks we had, even today at 3-3, needed a consistency from the referee. I mean, he can just shut the fuck up, man. I don't want to hear everything he's got to say. But big up Khalis Medinasi, chief editor at United Real Therapy. But Erik Ten Hag, all due respect, it was to me, the most embarrassing win in Manchester United history. That's why some fans walked out at the end. Big up, Tom. How you doing, Tom?
Big up, bro.
I'm a bit speechless here, John. Tom, because I'm not usually speechless, but I'm just saying congratulations to Coventry. They deserve the plaudits. Today wasn't about Manchester United. Manchester United were 3-0 up, and all they had to do was just close out the game. But do we fucking do that? It was just, yeah. I mean, look at Erik Ten Hag here. Big up. I've sent you the link, bro. If you're about. Erik Ten Hag says, it was incredible game. Strange game too. We had total control long and gave it away in the last part of the game. We did show resilience to win and penalty shootout. Yeah, nobody celebrated. I don't think anybody celebrated. But Tom, how did you see the fucking game? Because for me,
I'll tell you how I saw it with my own fucking eyes. That's how I saw the game with my own eyes. I was there. I went to the fucking game. I got a ticket off my mate because he couldn't go to the game in London. He went to the Chelsea game for yesterday, and then he had a spare ticket for the Manchester Coventry game that he was going to sell online. So he ended up giving it away just to me. And I thought, fuck it, I'm in London. I'll go to the game. I've got a property about less than 10, 15 minutes away from Wembley. I thought, fuck it, I'll go to the game. Wow, what a pile of shit. To be fair, first half I thought, okay, we played okay. I thought there was a bit of control. We were 2-0 up, we were cruising, but mate, fucking bottle jobs or what? We saw this in Europe. We've seen it in the Premier League against teams like what happened, say, with Chelsea. We've seen it against fucking championship teams, Nuruddin. We shouldn't even have got this far if we're facing facts, guys. Newport, fucking 3-4 rounds ago, should have knocked us out. They played better than us. Like, the whole team, there's no fucking, like, spirit between the team at all. And Eric Ten Hag can sit there and say, well, I haven't been able to pick the team that I want for 18 months. Fucking hell, so you've not been able to pick the best team that you want since you've been here then? Pretty much. Is that what you're trying to tell me, Eric Ten Hag? But you've bought all these players that you brought in, and you're telling me that you haven't been able to select your best 11 ever? I don't fucking understand the guy. He's fucking deluded. Musa said it before. He's fucking concussed. I don't understand a word the guy's saying, to be completely honest with you. I don't see the game in the exact same eyesight as anybody else. And the only person, Eric Ten Hag, who's celebrating in fucking Manchester or London on the coach, wherever the fucking hell you are up on the M1, is you. Not even any of the players really wanted to celebrate Nuruddin. They fucking knew. I was in the away end at Manchester with the Manchester United fans. Hardly anybody celebrated Nuruddin. We just clapped. We applauded. That was it. We applauded. And as I walked up the ground and everything, and I went past Coventry fans, and I spoke to a couple of them and everything, I said, you should be proud of your boys. Us, we're fucking shy. Be proud of your boys and how far they've come. Because your football club, the one thing that you guys can do is you can come down from fucking 3-0. If it was the other way around, it wouldn't have happened. The great Manchester United wouldn't have come round from 3-0 down. I can guarantee you that, lads. Be proud, and like I said to any Coventry fan who's even watching this, be proud of your team. Seriously, be proud of them. Because the way that they played today showed a football club which 18 months ago was on its arse. I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they were as far as League One or League Two. They didn't have an owner. They was going into administration. They didn't have any ownership in place. They had always different bidders and everything wanted to buy the club. They didn't even have a fucking stadium to play in as a football club. That's how bad their club was. And they went out and did that to the great Manchester United team, supposedly. It's embarrassing. It really is embarrassing. So, Eric Ten Hag, mate, you're the only person that's celebrating in fucking Manchester. Even fucking Joel Glazer and Avram can't celebrate that shower of shite. There was a picture of when Avram, Joel and Ratcliffe, when they were sat together, when they were 3-0 up, they were all fucking smiling. When they were 3-0 down, they couldn't fucking believe it. At 3-3, sorry. They couldn't believe it. They're fucking speechless. And millimetres, Nuruddin and Sean, millimetres has saved the guy from an absolute debacle. Because in their league, Coventry, that goal stands. They win that game. They don't have VAR in the Championship. That's completely new to them. So, as their football club, for what I say to every one of them, the manager, the players, the staff, for all of that football club, for what they've done to get that club as far as they did,
the fans,
well done. The fans as well, well done. Even the journey that you've made to go and watch that team, guys, and support your team, well done. Be proud of your boys. But for Manchester United, I ain't proud of any single fucking one of them spineless cowards. I'm not. So at the end of the day, I've seen it before, and I've seen it at the end of the day. Go to the final and play like that, and watch what happens. Because trust me, if you go 3-0 down, you ain't coming fucking back.
Yeah. Now, big up, Tom. Let me just get Adewale said the way Anthony and Hoyland celebrated, just Eric Ten Hag has bought players that don't understand the club. Nuruddin, stop with Hoyland is young. Anthony, 2 years older than him. Disgrace to both. Listen, it's true. Both of them are disgrace. But I can forgive Hoyland because he's only been here for 8 months. It's fucking shocking. It's shocking. Sean, wherever you are, sunny California, whatever time it is, you got up early for this one, I'm guessing. What time did you get up for this one?
Yeah, it was a 7:30 game. Wow. And I was up for it. And it played out pretty much the way I said, yesterday. Although, at first, I was a little surprised because it looked like we were in control. Like we were in complete control for like 60 minutes of the game. It looked like it was going to be just like a routine, Premier League club versus Championship team. And 60 or so minutes, they score a goal, and then the madness just starts. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm angry with Ten Hag, for this game because I feel like just as a matter of charisma or personality wise, the player should be afraid of you to an extent, or they should respect you too much to do the type of shit that we saw today. So he's failing in that regard, and he has to take responsibility for that. But honestly, like I don't see any reason whatsoever. I don't want to hear about taking off Maino or taking off Garnacho. I don't see why those players on the pitch could not hold a 3-0 victory. Honestly, like I don't understand what it is. There's no leadership on the pitch. Where Ten Hag bears responsibility is for his failure to inspire or his failure as a leader, basically, to lead these guys, to inspire any type of confidence or motivation on the team. He's failing in that regard. But as far, I can't fault him on the game today, like up until we conceded, and on the substitutions that he made, because it looked like we were running away with it. It seemed like after 3-0, like there were going to be more goals to come, and it was just going to be like we're going to destroy Coventry because we were in control. We're playing them on the halfway line. We're passing the ball around. In fact, you could argue that like our control was even too much because we seemed very deliberative. Like we didn't really know what to do with the ball when we had it, so we're just holding onto the ball and really controlling the game. There is a character flaw in that dressing room. There are no leaders there within that squad. All those guys should be ashamed of themselves. I don't want us to get bogged down on Højlund for celebrating. I don't blame Højlund for celebrating. I don't care what the circumstances are. If you score the winning penalty for your team, you have a right to celebrate. Højlund, it's his first year in England. He's going to an FA Cup final in Wembley, a famous storied stadium. He has every right to celebrate. I think even Ten Hag, he has a right to celebrate. I, as a United fan, regardless of what is going on this season, I would watch that final and I would want my team to win. I would watch that final. Hope is free, right? Hope is a free thing. I would be hopeful. I would watch the final expecting to win. And if we win, I would celebrate like crazy. So I don't want United fans to kind of get carried away or to lose the fact that, like, yeah, it means something that, we're in 2 FA Cup finals within a year. It means something that, there's at least a chance of winning a trophy. I think there's some good to take from this game today. And the madness that we saw.
What good, Sean? What good?
Yeah.
What good? What are you talking about?
The good is entirely result oriented. The fact that we're in the final, right? And the fact that we have at least on paper a 50-50 chance.
Sean, nobody really gives a fuck about final. When we play like that against a championship team, who plays?
So when you say like that, when you say like that, what are you talking about? Hey, if you're talking about the half an hour where everything just was catastrophe, and I don't disagree with you that
they just played like a team. They didn't even play. They didn't put too much effort in. It was effortless.
No, but
allowed. They hit the bar in extra time. Sean, what game were you watching?
No, but like you were doing, like you can't deny that like for 60 or so minutes we were in complete control of that game. You yourself tweeted. I saw your tweet. You yourself tweeted it. That's the most control we've had in a game in the first. Yeah. So the madness that we saw.
One half, Sean. Football.
But no, again, the madness that we saw at the end of the game. The madness that we saw at the end of the game, it's something that we've seen all season. We've seen it from these players all season. They bottled it. They bottled a 3-0 victory. It's not the first time they're bottling a 3-0 lead. We've seen that happen, right? So it's not. I'm not gonna. There's nothing to take from this game other than like, because everything else you're saying, anything else anybody can say will be redundant, because these are all points that we've made time and time again, that the players don't have any type of confidence. There's no courage. There's no leadership on the pitch. They bottle results. That's how we went out of the Champions League. We went out of the Champions League because we bottled several games like this, like literally many games like this, that it was like we're cruising and then from nowhere we threw away the lead. So the team is in shambles. I get all of that, right? But I think it counts for something. Personally, I think it counts for something that we have, at least on paper, a 50-50 chance of winning a trophy this season. Now, some freak accidents to City, freak own goal, red card early in the game, anything can happen, and we end up winning a trophy. I'm going to be happy if we win a trophy.
I can tell you now, I swear to you, Man City will beat us with 9 men comfortably.
I mean, sure, it could happen. It could definitely happen. And if they do that 4 out of 5 times, I'm hoping that we end up with the one time and we win. Because as a United fan, first and foremost, over anything else, I want the team to win. Right. So I might not like how we win, but if we win when we win, like Hoyland, I would celebrate and I'm fine with that. And I'm fine with going to the next round, to the final. Whatever we need to do, 90 minutes of football, put it all on the line. I don't want to see Casemiro on the pitch that day. I hope he's not playing. I hope Ten Hag is wise enough to manage the squad, leading up to that game. But like, why shouldn't we look forward to an FA Cup final? Honestly, I don't get that part.
Not looking. Listen, Tom. Sorry, Sean. I'm not looking forward to anything. That's the most embarrassing win in Manchester United history. That is by far the most, in my lifetime watching
I
Manchester
agree.
United, I've never been more embarrassed winning a football game than that game. Because we didn't deserve to win. We did not deserve to win that game.
I don't know about that, but I agree with an
We
embarrassing
didn't
win.
deserve to win that game. There was the team and a bunch of absolute overpaid prima fucking donners and a manager that's fucking clueless. Clueless!
No, but like I think to an extent, the manager
Even
to
in
an
my
extent,
wildest dreams,
no,
even in
he
my
didn't.
wildest, not dreams, but even
That Casemiro's
wildest
penalty,
nightmares,
that
in my
Casemiro's penalty,
wildest.
that first penalty. I actually believe that's sabotage. Honestly, that's what it looked like to me. That penalty that Casemiro took, the first penalty, just whatever Panenka he was trying to do, like that was ridiculous. I don't. It was an embarrassing game, definitely. The way we ended up losing, but like I would never be sad to win. Like I don't know why I want to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. Basically, we won, right? It was a shitty game. It's not what we would expect from a United team, but we won. We won despite all the shenanigans, despite all the madness. What I said yesterday was our quality basically was going to see us over the line. I called it that it was going to be a tight game. It was going to be a game that was going to be difficult for United fans to watch, but I expected us to win because we had a little more quality than them. So when our players are able to score a penalty, their own players, kick the ball um, over the post, or they can play well. Um, Adewale, you're preaching to the choir, right? I wanted Ten Hag sacked last week Monday, so if they sack him now, I'd honestly no problem with me. But I feel like fans should, so that we know what is ahead of us or what is in store for us. I think fans should expect that if Ten Hag is still here at the end of the season, just be prepared for another at least 6 months of Ten Hag. So let's be mentally prepared, so that our mental health will be good as United fans. Because if a lot is going on in the world, our club should give us peace, not how much anger it's giving us. So fans, just get ready. If Ten Hag isn't sacked by this Monday, if he's still here at the end of the season, I don't see why Ineos would want to spend, even if it's 5 million, sacking him before his contract expires, knowing that whatever manager that they're bringing, they're likely going to have to spend money to bring that manager here as well. Just be prepared for another year or so of Ten Hag. Buckle up, guys.
No, I don't know about that.
Listen, let me just get a super chat, Tom, and I'll come to you.
Mm.
Eric Ten Hag bought 8 players. Most of the squad is players that have been United or youth players. His talent 90s made us worse. He needs to be sacked immediately. There's nothing good about today's performance. Big up to you, Adewale, for the super chat, bro. But honestly, I feel embarrassed. It was embarrassing. And in my wildest nightmares, I never thought I'd be covering a game where I feel so embarrassed because of the way what Manchester United have done. It's absolutely shocking. Yeah, and I'll say it again. Manchester City will beat us with 9 players. 9 players. Comfortably, they will beat us with 9 players. If even any craziness happened. Yeah, we controlled the first 60 minutes of the game. And after that, we just go back to the bottle job. What I saw against Galatasaray, what I saw against Copenhagen, what I saw. Who else did we play in that group? What I saw against Bayern Munich, all of those things in it. Coventry sat back in the first half. Let's be honest. No, they did. They paid us too much respect. But even when teams have shown us respect, we didn't look as controlled as we look today. But honestly, it's shocking. Is where to be. I'll come back to you in a minute, Tom. Let me just welcome in Jarvis. Jarvis, how you doing?
Hey.
What the hell was that, Jarvis? Have you, in your lifetime, have you ever watched a more embarrassing win than that? Guys, there's nearly 240 of you in here. Please smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. We've been shadow banned, so the least you can do is subscribe to the channel and like the video. We don't ask for much. Well, we shout for the people around the world who are oppressed. And at this moment tonight, we're on the millions of Manchester United fans across the world who are being continually oppressed by this ownership, by this fucking football club and these clowns, cowards of players. But go ahead. First of all, how are you, Jarvis?
Yeah, considering the circumstances, what an embarrassment this game was, and the effort from this group of overplayed prima donnas. I'm not taking this lightly, because this was a game that we were supposed to win in an easy way, because we were 3-0 up. Let me take it from the start. I liked how we set up from the start. We played with calmness. We controlled the game. We actually, for once, was in control. And I was addressing this before the game yesterday. I talked about it's about keeping possession, keeping control of the game, because we didn't want an open-ended game on the big pitch of Wembley, because we will run ourselves down in 10 minutes. Ten Hag played Casemiro because we didn't have any other center backs, and we put Maino in the 6, and it worked out fantastic in the first half, because what happened now, we saw Maino come in as the maestro, the regista. He was dropping down in between the center backs every time we tried to build up, and we build up with possession and control. So what actually happened, Maino dropped down in between the center backs pushed a little bit wider, and Coventry played in a 5-3-2 formation, so they have 2 strikers up, and 2 strikers against 3 defenders. It was easy for us to play through their first line of press. So what happened is Maino came down, controlled the ball a little bit, set the rhythm. When they pressed, okay, give the ball to Maguire. Maguire moved it forward, and Maguire was actually good today with his passing centrally, and he was precise, and he was actually really good. It was the build up to the first goal was Maguire's. He played the ball through McTominay, who played it to Dalot, who played it in the middle to McTominay again, who scored. So for once, I was really happy. We controlled the game 100%, and it was all down to Maino. He set the rhythm of the team, and everything clicked. Second half, Coventry went. They switched from a back 5 to a back 4, and went higher up the pitch, because they were down 2-0. Remember, and Ten Hag's response to this was to sub off Kobbie Mainoo. Kobbie Mainoo didn't run much in the first half. He was dropping down. He was standing on the ball. He was controlling the tempo, just like carrying the ball slowly up and distributed it. So why he took off McTominay, only God knows, but what's go into Ten Hag's football mind, because I don't get it. I don't get it. His in-game management is below par yet again, and I've been addressing this so many times this season. What happened when Mainoo was taken off, we started hitting the ball long. And the game wasn't about control anymore. It was about dueling and effort. Effort and dueling, duels, effort against a championship opposition. Come on, Ten Hag. What were you thinking? Your master plan was to change the game up from control to duels and effort. You know, it's on the manager. This and suddenly everything.
But Maino went off for Ericsson now, no?
No, McTominay was the number 6. McTominay dropped down as the number 6. He was suddenly the playmaker. So I'm not putting this on Ericsson. Ericsson was playing in the number 8.
So I'm saying Ericsson replaced Maino, right? So I think that control
was moved down in the 6. The regista, I've been speaking about this. The regista role is so important in this Ten Hag system. And when you put the regista on McTominay, everything falls down. Everything went to shit, because McTominay doesn't understand when to drop down and help the center backs. In the first half, you saw, for example, Casemiro, when he went aggressive, pushed out, was on the front foot in his defending, Maino was there. So it was easy for Casemiro to be aggressive.
But
because
is
he
that
always had one backup.
is that enough to throw away a 3-goal
No, it should.
advantage
No,
to
no, no, it
Coventry?
shouldn't. But I'm telling you why we lost control. I'm just
Lost
trying to
control.
explain it.
We lost control because Kobe
We
was
started
giving
to
us a
hit
bit
it
more
long, and
control.
everything was about
Yeah.
effort and duels.
And what did I say yesterday? Jarvis? I was saying it more than 4 times. If it comes to duels and it comes to second balls, they're going to beat us. Did I not say that yesterday?
But it seems to me like even after those subs, right, we were still in control until they scored and everybody just started shitting their pants. Like,
But
it looked to me like...
Sean, if you look back on the goal, it was a long ball from Onana. He stressed. He tried to hit it long. Højlund went in a duel with 2 center backs. The one center back, he headed the ball back into the area where Dalot was going in. He was trying to invert because we were hurrying in to come to our attacking position, the 3-1-6. So Dalot was inverting, and the ball came into the area Dalot was running from. So he was caught off guard. And suddenly, because we lost control, we lost our structure.
I agree with the principle of what you're saying, but I don't like that type of analysis looking at like each specific goal, because we've considered goals with Maino on the pitch, with Casemiro in the midfield. So it's not like having that person there specifically could have prevented any exact scenario. For me personally, this game, the substitutions, I feel like, especially since people have been complaining about the amount of playing time that these young players have been getting and the need for them to be managed more carefully than they have in the past. I don't blame Ten Hag when you're 3-0 up against Coventry for taking off Kobe Maino and Garnacho. Like, I don't think it's too much to ask from the players on the pitch there that they do not throw away a 3-0 lead. I don't accept that putting McTominay in midfield as the holding midfielder is such a ridiculous, tactic that it means we have to now concede.
Sean, I can tell you this based on our.
Sean, we can't play out. We can't play out, and he's not composed enough to get hold of the ball, to put the ball.
Is that why we should concede 3 goals?
But based on what we have seen.
Come on, Sean. You know this already. Go ahead, Jarvis.
Yeah, based on what we have seen this season, the evidence is clear. McTominay can't play as a number 6. That's for sure. And
never could he play.
Whenever we miss the regista, the one who can drop down and be calm, composed on the ball, we start to fire rockets against Højlund, and Højlund is there against 1 or 2 or 3 center backs. 1 if we're lucky, most likely 2 or 3, and loses the ball, and we get the ball straight into our face again. And then we have the tennis football, the basketballification of football, back and forward, and we know how that goes. So Ten Hag needs to learn from previous experiences, but he doesn't. He seems to be immune from learning this. And again, I would say Rashford and Wan-Bissaka is an experiment that we have tried so many times now that we know it doesn't work. We go down the blind alley on the left side time after time, again and again, and it stops. And we don't try to shift it back and turn it on to the other side and utilize our width of the pitch, because on the other side we come in narrow. So there's so many.
For me, that raking comment is all that that I think people need to say. That raking comment of leaders. There are no leaders on the pitch. Like, I don't think Ten Hag. Like, I don't think it's too much to ask as a manager to say 60 minutes into an FA Cup semi-final against a team that is 8th in the championship, you're leading 3-0. Take off the young 19-year-old guy, who has been playing too many games in the season. Put a ostensibly a professional footballer, McTominay, there with Casemiro, Maguire, Dalot, and Wan-Bissaka, and Bruno Fernandes and Eriksen on the pitch. And I don't think it's too much for the manager to expect that they will be able to see out the remaining time in that game without throwing away the lead. I don't think it has nothing to do with the substitutions.
From your opposition in the semi-final in the cup, because they were willing to throw the kitchen sink in and give everything.
He made 3 substitutions. Jarvis, let me just get this right. They went 3-0 down, and he made 3 attacking substitutions. He went for it. That's the difference.
No,
Listen,
not attacking.
Sean,
He made
Sean,
like
let
for
me-
like substitutions.
Sean, when you set up a team in a system where you're relying on a single pivot, right? Let me repeat that for you again, just so that you understand what I'm saying to you. When you rely and set up the team to play with a single pivot, and that single pivot happens to be fucking McTominay, you're asking for fucking trouble. You're asking because that means you can't play through midfield anymore. Instead, you're going to play.
I don't
hoop ball.
disagree with you. I
You
just
play
don't
hoop
think
ball.
trouble.
And
I just don't think
that's
trouble
what
should mean
that's all Jarvis is saying.
conceding. I just don't think trouble should mean conceding 3 goals or 4 goals, basically, like we did, and we're lucky to get the 4th one recently. I don't think conceding. I don't think it's unreasonable for a manager to say, okay, this isn't the best approach right now, but given the situation, we can manage this because we're professional. Because we're professional, we can manage this for 30 minutes, or we can manage this for 20 minutes. I don't think that's too much for a manager to ask. For me, it's about the leadership on the pitch. Like I don't look at Ten Hag's choices. Like Ten Hag's failure for me today is his inability
Listen
to
to me,
inspire
Sean.
those players.
Sean.
Those substitutions, honestly, like I don't.
Sean,
I think we're
But
just
Sean,
trying
I'm not
to.
gonna lie to you. Sean,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, Garnacho's offering a little bit more than Rashford, so you decide to take off Garnacho. Come on now, behave yourself. Let me go back to Tom. Tom, where the fuck do we go from here? But let me just get this super chat quickly, because it's honestly, I'm dumbfounded. I'm dumbfounded. Big up Jarvis. Go and get that. Top up that cup of tea. We need a lots of cups of tea tonight. I don't blame Eric Ten Hag for the substitute. I blame him for not rotating the squad. This is the main reason players look lost when they come on, because they don't play first place. Ahmad Winner has barely played since. Yeah,
I agree.
100%.
I agree with that.
100%. Tom, let me just get this on the super chat. Big up Nate. Nate says, bro, people who defend Ten Hag are so sold out of defending him that they try either to change the subject or say it's the players. It falls on him. Yeah, big up to you, Nate. Thanks for the super chat, bro. Big up to our people for the super chat. Please, there's 300 of you in here, actually. Just over. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Yeah, a lot of people are saying sack him tonight. That's what a lot of people are saying. Sack him tonight. It just breaks my heart. It's embarrassing. I just don't know where to go with this team, Tom. Where can we go from here? I swear to you, if it was up to me, all of them would be fucking on top. All of them. Every one of them will be gone. Fuck off. And I start again. I go down to, you know what? Today showed me that Manchester United will be mid-table in the championship. That's what it showed me. And we need to get that relegation done sorted soon.
Yeah, it just shows our level that we're at. I mean, to be honest with you, there's one person that I feel sorry for that went to that game, and that's Sir Jim Ratcliffe. The guy ran halfway around London. He cut his fucking marathon short to go and watch a half of football. And when he turned up there, we capitulated like a shower of shit. We capitulated. And look, we've said this before about these players. Some of the players on that pitch are from different teams, but a massive proportion of those players are players that he's brought through the youth ranks, and he identifies as players that can fit whatever he's trying to play in terms of football, or whatever he's trying to coach them. You have a young player like Garnacho, Coventry. You can say they're his players because he's brought them through the youth ranks and says, you're good enough to play for this team that I want to build or construct. He's got players like Onana. He's got players like Anthony. Like, the way that you go up against these teams, and guys, we've had the warnings about these games in the previous rounds. Like I said, Newport, we went away to Newport and they played better than us, and they probably should have won the game, and we nearly got embarrassed there. Where was the place in Greater Manchester? Was it Wigan? I think we went to, or where was it? I can't remember. Wigan.
It was Wigan.
Wigan.
Yeah, Wigan found our level.
We found our level. Championship League One constructing level. It's embarrassing. And at the end of the day, the only thing that our manager comes out with and says is, "Oh, well, we won the game." Wow, fantastic, Eric Ten Hag. Wow, you won the game. Go to the final and play like that, mate. You won't win that final, I tell you now. And Nuruddin's right. Manchester City, when they go down to 10 men, you know the funny thing is, they still play the same way. Yeah, it might make a substitution to, if it's a defender that gets sent off or a goalkeeper, it might make a substitution to bring a goalkeeper or another defender on the field. But they still play the same way. If Man United went down to 10 men, we'd all be sitting here shitting ourselves. And we would be. The thing that Coventry had, and this is what I always say about football, when you're at Wembley or in a big game, tactics is irrelevant. When you're in a big game, you need at least 2 things, minimum. That's bravery, players who aren't going to duck out of 50-50 challenges because of the occasion, and you need balls, players who are actually going to stand up to that occasion and understand the pressure of it. Because Manchester United players, I can name so many semi-finals that Harry Maguire's been to at Wembley in a defensive structure where we've capitulated. I can remember it under Ole, I can remember it under Ragnick, I can remember it now under Eric Ten Hag. Last season when we went to Wembley, 2 games that we played were, even guys, if we think about it, like the 3 games that we played at Wembley last season, the Carabao Cup final against Newcastle, we played shit but we won the game. The semi-final against Brighton last year, we got scraped by on penalties. We played shit again. The final last year, we played shit. In Europe, you go away to Copenhagen, you go away to Galatasaray, you go away to all these big grounds in big games in a competition, and they fail. But people want to come up to me and give me stats to say, oh, Eric Ten Hag's got a 94.8% rating in fucking cup competitions. I couldn't give a shit. I could not care. Is this what we are now? We're a cup team. Is that what Man United are now? We're a cup team. Because if you want to be a cup team, you don't need Eric Ten Hag as the manager. There's managers out there who can be proven cup winners easily. One of them's in the shop window now, Jose Mourinho. He's a cup manager. He'll win you an FA Cup. He'll win you a Carabao Cup. If that's Man United's level, go and get one of them sort of managers. Thomas Tuchel. He fucking knows how to get through stages in cup competitions and everything. Been to so many finals. Listen, at the end of the day with Ten Hag, clearly there's a divide with some of these players. We've seen it all season, but as a club, and this is the one thing that I say is a calamity to our football club, there's 2 big broadcasting companies that missed out this season on reporting on what's happened at Manchester United. That's Netflix and Amazon, because it's been an absolute fucking car crash. The amount of players that have been exiled off, the amount of ups and downs, social media posts by this player and that player. Then you've got fucking raw chicken being served up to fucking health inspectors. You've then got human remains found at Manchester United's training ground. It is honestly, it's like a fucking comedy series, guys. It really is. But you go to the final. Can we honestly sit there and say any of us are even excited about going to the final? We're not.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
You're the minority then, fella. You're the minority.
Sure.
You're the minority.
Can I just get the super chat on before I come back to you? Big up Anuwale says, it's funny how Eric Ten Hag says Garnacho's had to apologise and sorry, but his brother can come and put tweets out against players. When Pogba's agent did it, the fans abused Pogba. Eric Ten Hag's favourite Sancho can...
I beg. The Pogba revisionism is lame.
Let me just say.
Pogba has failed as a footballer.
Big up Mansifia. He says Eric Ten Hag treats fans as mugs. Bring Unai Emery for a sorry reaping. No, I like Unai Emery, but I prefer De Zerbi. I need better football because we're gonna be shit anyway. We got too many shit footballers. We're gonna be shit. I might as well get excited, couple of games. You know what I mean? Watch Manchester United, just do something. Go ahead, Tom. Come back if you can. At the end of the day, guys, listen, there's 360 of you in here. Please, at least let's get 200 likes.
Why would United fans be excited at the prospect?
Why are we getting excited, Sean? Tell me what after watching that, what you fucking excited about, Sean? Tell me what you're excited about.
I am a football fan first and foremost. I'm a Manchester United fan. Regardless of however I feel, once the whistle blows for a game to start, I want my team to win. And as long as I'm going to that game wanting my team to win, I'm going to watch with expectation and excitement, and I'll be disappointed if we lose and happy if we win. I'm not indifferent. So like if I'm not indifferent, then I feel something towards the game, and that feeling I have is anticipation. There's some fear, obviously, because it's against City, and City are probably the best team in the world right now. But I am excited at that game. I'm excited to see what we do. I don't expect much from the team, but I will be happy if we win. And if I'm going to be happy if we win, then why would I come and pretend like it doesn't mean anything to me right now?
I can't bring myself to think about that. But Jarvis, please, Tom, if you're about, come back. Jarvis, I would get rid of them all. I'm telling you now, starting with a fucking manager,
Yeah,
starting with the medical department, in starting with them. I mean, and the thing about it is that fucking bastard Avram Glazer properly spent nearly 100,000 pounds getting a private jet all the way from the US to come here and then go back. That's what he's properly spent. That bastard. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, you know, it's the same thing every time we qualify for something big. They all come in, wined and dined, and then all the paycheck goes to Man United. All the expenses are paid for. This is what they are about. You know, the Glazers. Someone should slap them over the head because they have ruined our club. But you know, we have been protesting for so many years, but nothing seems to happen. And now we have Ineos coming in, saving them, and let's see how the story ends. But I'm not very optimistic. I just want to say one thing. You know, did you notice that guy Victor Thorpe, who played for Coventry? Last summer, he played in the Norwegian Premier League for a relegation team. Last summer. And now he comes in the semi-final on Wembley and bobs around our midfield from the Norwegian Premier League. Danish guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Danish
and
guy
he was so unlucky. He was so unlucky not to get the winner.
That offside goal.
To write himself into FA Cup history. Yeah. It's unlucky.
And he had that screamer, that the thunderbolt that Onana saved. That was the same guy. You know, he could have won this game for Coventry. It was so close. And he came from the Norwegian Premier League, ranked like number 20 in Europe.
Wow. Wow, Jarvis.
It's amazing. So people need to think about this before we pay. You know, we pay these guys 300,000 a week pounds to play football. And this is what we get. So yeah, to answer your first question, a clear out needs to be done. We need to start selling these players right, left, and center. And I wouldn't spend a penny buying players this summer. I would spend all in on just canceling contracts and get rid of these useless players, because there's no future with these type of guys except for the young kids. Do you agree?
It's incredible. No, I agree. It's fucking shocking. It's shocking. Let me get the super chat. Pick up Adewale. It says Pogba is failed footballer. No, yeah, I agree with this. Sean is not failed. What he's smoking. Pogba has 3 Scudetto winner, a World Cup winner, a Europa League winner. That's coming from someone who's excited about getting to a FA Cup.
I actually think that, for me personally, for Pogba signals the decline of football, like the football fan behavior. I think Pogba was like the whole Pogba versus Mourinho rift kind of just signaled the when United really took a turn for the worse. There's some people who Pogba appeals to. I'm not one of those guys. I don't respect what Pogba did at his time at United. I don't respect that type of luxury player who plays for YouTube compilations. No, means nothing to me.
I genuinely do think that's gross misreading of what Paul Pogba was at Manchester United.
That's fine.
And by the way, Sean, since you like the corporates, he was a Adidas signing, and Woodward kept him there, and he asked 3 times to leave the football club. 3 times.
Exactly.
3 times, and they said no because they signed him for that reason. So when you talk about the corporates have to make money, that's what it was. So I'm sorry. You can't eat your cake and fucking eat it, Sean. You've got to humble yourself and eat that.
I don't understand the point you're making there,
Pogba was a signing by the fucking Glazers and the bankers who run us.
Yeah, and it was a wrong signing.
Kept him there. The reason why we kept him there is because of that fucking reason. Because
we shouldn't have backed Pogba over Mourinho.
You don't want to talk about
What do you mean I don't want to talk about it?
There's nothing
I'm willing to talk about anything. Like I can talk about anything. The issue is that like you want me to agree with exactly your framing, and I don't. But any conversation you want to have about United, I'm willing to acknowledge and admit certain things. Admit that the Glazers have run the club poorly. Admit all those things. for me, there's more to the story than a simplified narrative that you guys want to present, which is why I disagree on this finer point of Pogba and whether or not it's a bad thing necessarily to have a corporate side of the business or to be brand focused. I don't think those things are all bad. There are many sports franchises that are able to work on their brand, but still also see success on the pitch. It's possible to do it. It's a very difficult task, but it's possible to do it. And we've done it the wrong way this entire time by signing players like Pogba, by backing somebody like Pogba over Mourinho. When Mourinho reached a crossroads and he looked at the dressing room and said,
hotel. Sean, I'm sorry for the being a revisionist history. Jose Mourinho joined Manchester United, got himself a hotel room, and what signified from day fucking one that he was only here for the payout that he got. He's the most highest paid out manager in the history of football. Because when he came to United, and Real Madrid the same, Inter Milan was the only fucking club who didn't pay him out. Inter Milan, he walked out on his contract by himself to go to Real Madrid. Chelsea, twice he got paid out. He came, didn't even integrate himself in Manchester. He lived in a fucking hotel and was talking about going to Paris Saint-Germain and about how his son enjoys going to Paris Saint-Germain, watching Paris Saint-Germain.
I'm not revising.
Let me finish. He then, by coming out with that, he bullied Woodward, who doesn't have a fucking clue about football. Fuck all to do with football. Got panicked and thought, shit, we can't let him go to Paris Saint-Germain. Give him a contract. And 8 months later, he was sacked and should have been fucking sacked. He should have
been sacked. I've never said that Mourinho should be our manager or anything. All I'm saying is that
because of Pogba. I'm not saying
that he was sacked. I never said that to him.
Because of Pogba.
I never said that.
Pogba on the fucking bench. So
I never said that because and this is the issue, right?
You frame it as that. You were trying to frame it as that.
No.
Yes, you were.
What I said was United fans got to a crossroads where we chose player power over structure. We chose player power over respecting the office of manager. That's my opinion.
We didn't choose player power.
That's my perspective on the Pogba versus Mourinho beef.
Sorry, Sean. We didn't choose player power. Jarvis didn't choose player power. Also, we're going to the same didn't choose player power. This is what I'm trying to tell you. We are such a fucking corporate run fucking football club, right? That everybody could see. Pogba, Martial, Rashford didn't suit Jose's football. He wanted different players. But Pogba, Martial, both of them were fans' favourites in terms of big shirt sellers and shit like that. And specifically Paul Pogba. He was the Adidas guy, and that's Joel and Avram and
I don't think he was more than just Adidas guy.
Listen,
what I'm seeing in this comment section tells me that there are many United fans that pick Paul Pogba over the club. There are many for me. Yes,
he was an amazing footballer in a shit fucking football.
But he was a luxury. But he was a luxury footballer.
He was a luxury for France when he won the World Cup. He was a luxury for Juventus. He was a luxury for us.
You can't compare.
He was a luxury for us.
You can't compare.
I'm sorry,
Pogba,
Sean,
who couldn't even start. Who couldn't start centrally?
You are a revisionist historian.
No.
I'm sorry, Sean.
I'm introducing complexity that's going over your head. You're mistaking shouting for having a valid point.
No, I'm telling you, Paul Pogba, despite all of the bullshit, many a game showed many of skill level to win games for Manchester United. Yes,
I don't know why we're getting bogged down in this specific dynamic. I'm pointing to a type of dynamic, and I'm seeing it again with Sancho. With people who think that Sancho should come back. It's the same fans. It's the same set of fans that want Sancho back. That think that Sancho, was treated unfairly, or that the problem with United now is that Ten Hag sent Sancho away. It's the same fans that were backing Paul Pogba over the manager, and it's the same fans who gassed up Rashford and gassed up these players that we have, basically, to the point where as long as you have a nice 10-minute YouTube compilation, basically, you're treated as royalty instead of looking at the substance, basically what you're delivering on the pitch. I don't care that Pogba single-handedly did one game for us or that he scored screamers. I don't care about any of this stuff that you're saying. I'm not revising any history. I'm not a fan who is saying, I'm not one of those fans who is saying, oh, it was better under Ole. I've heard that on your channel, Nuruddin. People saying football was better, at least was better under Ole or Mourinho and stuff. I haven't said anything like that.
No, we enjoyed it better than the shit we watched this season. Yeah, at times, Ole's time was better than the shit we watched this season, and that's the fact, Sean. That's actually a fact.
That's more revisionism than anything I've actually said.
We scored goals on
but the difference is that I'm not screaming.
Goals.
Right?
I'm sorry, Sean. Sean, I'm sorry. I've let you speak. What you're saying is that
no, you haven't.
Listen, on this channel, you're known to defend the corporate, the club, and the Glazers, and saying it's not the Glazers, so it's this and that. You're here to defend. You're the one that bought up Paul Pogba. Nobody was talking about Paul Pogba. You're the one that bought him up, right?
I brought up a simple point.
At the end of the day,
I brought up a simple point.
You're talking like a revisionist historian.
I brought up a simple point. What a lot of people only like to hear what they like to hear, right? So when you say no, it's true. No, it's true. People like to hear what they like to hear.
Pogba has to leave 3 times. You know what? That's when I knew my football club was dead, Sean. That's when I knew my football club was dead.
In my opinion, the football club died. The club died when we chose Pogba and Martial over Mourinho. And I think time has borne out. I think time has borne out. It's as much bullshit as your claim that football was better under Ole.
That is the biggest bullshit.
It's less bullshit than you who thinks that we should sack the entire dressing room and sack the medical staff and all of that.
Jose Mourinho,
which is what bullshit.
Jose Mourinho got the sack because he wanted to buy players, and Woodward betrayed him. And that's why he threw the kids under the bus. We saw that on that preseason. He threw all the kids under the bus. And he was like, we need more signings. I need more signings. I need more signings. So I'm sorry, Sean.
Mourinho created a toxic environment. From his second season, it became a toxic environment when it was clear to him that football wasn't the priority at the club.
Let me finish the point. Paul Pogba, Anthony Martial, Paul Pogba asked 3 times. Like, here we go. Big up Adebayo. Paul Pogba wanted to leave, but he was the problem. What is Shaw? He's actually had the standard.
What standards? What standards? By doping? I beg, mix me with all this nonsense. This is precisely the rubbish I'm talking about.
Let me just get inside the super chat. Let me just get inside it. Tom, what are you on row 25? Because the guy behind us sounded like you. Big up Tom.
It's
Big
possible.
up Tom. David Kaloya. Yeah, he might be. And hopefully Tom can come back. Properly internet cut out or the phone. Let me just get inside the super chat. He was not a luxury player. Stop lying. Fred was the only player to cover more ground than him.
That's why he's on a 4-year ban right now. Right? He's doing what? Please, don't mix me with this nonsense. That you're talking about.
I'm gonna go to Jarvis. Because I think we both had our say. Jarvis, I want to bring it back to today. I don't want to make this about fucking Paul Pogba. Pogba does not play for Manchester United. But revisionist fucking historians will say that Paul Pogba and Jose Mourinho got sacked, Jarvis, because he wanted players.
It will help you to listen to what I actually say and not paraphrasing the way that's not what I said.
Jarvis,
that's not what I said.
You were witnessing there. Paul Pogba, to me, when a player is saying, let me fucking go, I want to leave that's when I knew my football club died. So I want to bury that. Paul Pogba wanted to leave 3 times. He was kept because he was the fucking Adidas guy and because of the sponsorship money that we signed. That's the reason why. So I just want to put that to death. I want to bring it back to today. To this day. Manchester United are a fucking embarrassment to the history of Manchester United. That manager, that coaching staff, those players are full of fucking embarrassment. I'm not looking forward to no final. I want to ask you, are you looking forward to a final, Jarvis?
Yeah, it will be another beating. I'm not looking forward to facing Manchester City. They are probably the best team in Europe at the moment, even though they lost against Real Madrid. I think we will lose, and even though if they get sent off 1 or 2, they will be a much stronger team than us, because we have seen this group of players, and we know they don't have what's needed to win anything. I'm not very optimistic going forward. I think we are lacking in every aspect. We are lacking in the medical team. I heard today that the McTominay injury was our 65th injury for the season. When he got subbed, our manager has no in-game management. He usually subs us worse when he do something. Our players are down tooling whenever they can. They are prima donnas, overpaid superstars, and basically we have a lot of fans. We have player FC people who are not understanding what actually going on. So everybody is it's just a mess. I don't know how Ineos is going to come in and change this with a few tweaks and structural changes. I can't see Wilcox coming in and doing bits with all the others. So I don't know what's wrong. I think it's money culture, and as long as Glazers are here, we have the money culture. It will still stand. You know, it's not about performance. It's not about the merit. And we all see it today again. Rashford starts over Anthony and Diallo, who has both performed lately and been much better than this Rashford guy, who just I don't know what he's actually doing in this team. I heard Ten Hag's comment the other day when he spoke about I know why I'm here, to bring trophies and also to create economic value. And it made me think maybe Ten Hag is forced to play certain players to keep up the value so they can get sold this summer. Maybe this is the plan. I don't know, because I have no other reason for why Rashford is playing, because it's a waste of space. We play with one man less on the pitch with Rashford on the pitch. He doesn't understand how to play in this system. He's limited. He doesn't lift his head up. He doesn't know what's around him. He has tunnel vision, and he tries to dribble himself down a blind alley time after time. And for me, I'm just baffled when I see him in the starting lineup again and again. It has to be in his contract, or it has to be other forces that forcing Ten Hag to do this. I can't understand if Ten Hag is that stupid, playing Rashford every time, because he's not good. He's just an embarrassment.
Big up Bombaye. Yeah. Big up Bombaye. Bombaye, I coined that the most embarrassing win in Manchester United history. How did you see the game? Big up to you.
Bombaye, are you there, man?
Bombaye, are you there?
Before Bumaye comes in, I just want to tell those people in the comments that your boos mean nothing to me. Like, in fact, they energize me. So you guys can keep talking shit, but like, you know, your boos actually, they fuel me. They give me.
Listen, I don't want to talk about Paul Pogba. I want to talk about Manchester United. Bombaye, are you there?
Yo.
All right. Thanks for waking up.
Yes, that's literally what's just happened.
There you go. Pick up to you. You just woken up. I coined that the most embarrassing win in Manchester United history, in my lifetime anyway. How did you see the game?
Yeah, man, it was. I felt sorry for Coventry. I really did. I was a little bit embarrassed to go through. To be fair, I don't know if you felt the same. And then all the flashbacks started coming. What, you know, the games where we threw it away, we couldn't hold on, things like that. I mean, they're okay. They're okay. We should kill a team like that. They're okay, but you know, like we love to do, we just let everybody back in. Maybe they thought it was cruise control. The game was won, and then you get one, crowd gets up, you get second one, is very lucky to go in, but you know, still. And then that's it. We're scared. We're playing like we're not got big players. We're not got stature. We've got nothing. We're starting to get scared, and they're flying, and it was not good. It was not good at all. You know, maybe we're sat here having a really different convo. So I don't know what to tell you, really. I mean, if we're going to win the tournament, fine. But that game was not good, man. How we let it get back to 3-3 at all. I don't know what else to really tell you, but I do know that we are capable of doing that. You know, we're capable of doing things like that. Nobody else is capable of doing it that would regard themselves as a top 6 Premier League team, but us. So that's pretty much my take on it. It was a very boring game. I said it'd be a game of goals. I was hoping at least I'd get my prediction right, but it came alive when they scored the second one, and I became a little bit more interested. Maguire, up until the whole thing turned upside down, I was thinking, yeah, I think I'll give him my man of the match today. He did well. I was thinking, yeah, Onana, you're really good with the ball. I was just analysing it 3-0, thinking, yeah, prepare for the show this evening, see what we can pick up, bing, 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 and then pop up. Shit changed. We woke up, and now I'm starting to think, I wonder what Sean's got for us and Jarvis has got for us. Who's going to lose it? Dino, what have you got for us? What has the people in the chat got for us? And I thought this should make a much better show than the original 3-0. But that's pretty much it, Pretty
Listen,
much
I've
it.
got nothing. I genuinely got nothing. I thought it was embarrassment in every sense of the word. I've never been.
But Buma, are you looking forward to the
United.
final? Are you excited to watch United play in the final, FA Cup final?
I mean, yeah, of course you're gonna watch it, man. It's against City. You're gonna watch it, and we're gonna feel like we're Coventry this time, playing against City because they're an amazing team. It's heavily stacked in their favour. But yeah, look, you get through, Sean. It's embarrassing the way we get through because it's Coventry and we scrape it and penalties and their goal. I thought, Ross, I felt like we were the small team and it didn't feel good. But now that you're going to have a final against City FA Cup to win a trophy, of course, you don't say no.
That's it. It was a shit game. It was a terrible game.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you a question. Were you excited after the final whistle? Were you excited going through to a final? Hand on your heart.
No, I was
exactly.
I was embarrassed, kind of.
In the moment now, no.
I'm sorry, Sean, nobody's excited.
In the moment, nobody's. I wasn't excited either.
Other than you.
No.
Other than you. Right now.
That's why I would help to listen now.
That's excited.
I wasn't excited. I wasn't excited when the whistle blew. I wasn't excited when the game ended. No, but a couple of hours later, and we're talking about the game.
I'm still not.
No, hold on, Nuruddin. A couple of hours later, we're talking about the game, and people are criticizing Højlund for celebrating. And I'm saying I don't blame Rasmus Højlund for celebrating scoring the winning penalty. And again, regardless of how the game played out, I don't blame Ten Hag. As crazy as it might sound, I don't blame him for trying to spin this game into a positive. I don't understand what fans expect the manager to say after a game. You expect him to come out and say, "Oh, we were shit. We didn't deserve to win the game." Like, how would he possibly say that?
The first thing, Sean. The first thing you come out and say, we somehow we were so lucky. I actually some managers say it. They go, "We didn't deserve it today, but we'll take it." Some managers do say that, Sean. Managers
what
say,
manager?
Listen, yeah, managers have come out before. I can't believe you're talking about that. You never watched football before. Managers have come out in the past and said, "Wow, we didn't deserve that, but we'll take it." We didn't play that great today. We didn't play great in the last half an hour. We weren't missing.
I know you think it's possible. I know in your mind you think that happened, but if you can't tell me the manager, Sean, tell me what manager came out and after a team won and said we didn't deserve to win. They would always try and spin it. They would always try and spin it in a way that's positive for them.
No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't, Sean. Managers have come out before and said, "Wow, we got away with one today." And managers have come out and said, first thing they do is praise the other team. So Ten Hag today should have come out in his first words and said, "Before you ask me questions, I just want to say, well done to the fans of Coventry, the players, the coaching staff, their manager, for coming out after 3-0 down, the mentality they showed, the physicality they showed."
I don't blame him for not saying any of that.
I thought we got away with one today. We usually got away with one. And when it was asked the right question, because everybody felt embarrassed. If you're associated with Manchester United and you didn't feel embarrassed to win that game, then I can't help you.
Of course they felt embarrassed. Of course they felt embarrassed. But what should Ten Hag come out and say?
This idea for the next week or so that any United fans are looking forward to some bullshit final is laughable as well. I'm sorry to say it's laughable because we just witnessed what we've witnessed all season throughout the Champions League rounds, throughout the last 4 or 5 games. And this team can still shock us in the most incredible ways.
Today was a new low. Today was a new low in Manchester United history. I agree with all of that. But I don't understand what you guys expect the manager to say and why you think it's a bad thing that the manager is trying to spin it positively. No, I agree with you that in one scenario, right? In one world, right?
Sean, we've had 11 years, 12 years of spinning. We're sick of being spun. That's abuse. It's abuse.
Sure.
It's fucking abuse.
Right, that's all. That's possible too, right? It's possible that there is a manager out there that would have so much integrity, right? So much integrity that he's willing to self-deprecate basically.
Listen, where was it? There was a game Fergie during Ferguson's time, and I thought we won the game, and he come out and he absolutely lambasted the Manchester United players.
Even some of the greatest managers like Arsene Wenger have blamed the grass. Sometimes managers talk about the referee. Like managers always find a way to spin something that doesn't go their way. So I don't understand why we expect this manager.
What game was it where Fergie was kicking up on the touchline? I think he might have.
It was against Milan, bro. And he did it at Milan, and he did it at Aberdeen when they won. He goes, "That's a disgrace. As the worst performance, unacceptable at Aberdeen." Look.
So are we saying we never heard Ten Hag say that? We never heard Ten Hag say that it was a bad performance. How about we heard him say that many times this season?
Let me build a bridge. I think at this moment in time, the dominant feeling is shock at how we put ourselves in a position like that with the 3-0 lead against Coventry, and you're thinking we should have been out. I mean, part of me was hoping Coventry will win the penalty shootout. I'm not gonna lie. So I think that is the dominant feature now, like discussed at the team of how the hell does that happen? How can you stoop so low? How can you be so shit? I think when the final comes around, I mean, you'll tune into it and you will be supporting your team, hoping to pop City. That's pretty much how it is. But right now, the dominant feature is, and you know what I mean? I understand what Dino's saying. It's like, it's cringe, man. It's cringe. But when FA Cup final day comes and it's against City, you want to clip City and you will be supporting the team. But right now,
that's all I'm saying, Bumani.
I know, but emotions are high now.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this here. Look, I'm not lying to you. They look level to me. They literally look level to me. Honestly.
Did you draw those lines?
No, that's Jarvis to send it to me. They look level.
Yeah, but look at the ball. He hasn't left his foot.
Yeah.
I think the manager said that if the Coventry player had cut his toenails the day before, he would have been onside. When they scored, I was laughing. I thought it was the most hilarious thing ever because they came back from 3-0 and they're about to beat us.
Exactly the same as Sean.
So good.
Go ahead, Jarvis.
Yeah, you see the ball. He hasn't left his foot.
And it's onside.
So I'm not sure if they timed this right when they framed the stop the picture and everything. So we are Jarvis, so lucky today. We were Jarvis, 1 millimeter away from an onside.
Jarvis, all due respect, they will sell more tickets and they get more television interest from around the world when it's Manchester United versus Manchester City than when it's Coventry City versus Manchester City. Let's be real. Let's be real out here. Come on. This game's going to have all the hype because we're all fucking hype club, right? We are number one in the spin of football. And the FA will make more television, more overseas, all that money and stuff like that from the FA Cup. So they were never going to just do that. If there was any opportunity, it was going to go against them. And it did. He got win against them. But let's go to it. Let's go to Jarvis's question. Actually, the question was asked also last night. I'll start with you, Jarvis, with your own question. If Ten Hag wins the FA Cup, does he stay at Manchester United?
Well, today it's a clear no because he has proven.
Yesterday was yes.
yesterday I was tilting more. It's strange this. Whenever we have had the game, I'm always like tilting against Ten Hag out. But when I get two,
Because
three,
you know
4
why,
days,
Jarvis?
to
Your
calm
eyes do
down.
not lie to you. Because you know why, Jarvis? Your eyes, when you're watching the game, do not lie to you. Your eyes don't go, when you rub your eyes, you still see the same bullshit. That's the reason why.
Yeah, and I'm so frustrated when it comes to his in-game management, how he conduct his team, how he set up his tactics, and how the player responds. Because there's something in his the way he gives his message. I don't think they receive it well. The group of players, and this is how we talk about player power and down tooling. But basically, it's players, they feel we could do better, and they are not agreeing with the gaffer and how he set up the team. So, and they don't trust him. That's the thing. They don't trust his judgment when he say, okay, your role is to run down here every time you receive the ball, you do this or this. And they don't trust him. So in a way, I can understand that players are down tooling, but it shouldn't happen. They should trust him. But I think we have come to a point where we're on a crossroad where we have to go different ways. For me, even if we win the FA Cup. Oh, you're on mute, Nordi.
Go on.
Oh yeah. Sack Ten Hag. My only thing is that sack him now if you're gonna sack him. I don't see the point in waiting to the end of the season. And if they decide to give him another
Apparently, they
year,
save 10 million if they'd only have to give him 15 million if they sack him now, and
No.
5 million if they sack him in
sure, 10 million makes a difference, but I feel like any manager they're going to bring, they're probably going to have to pay the manager's release clause, because I don't know who we're going to get, but if it's a manager who's in a job right now, it means we would have to spend money to get a manager out of his current job. So I would understand if Ineos decide to run down the clock on Ten Hag's contract, if they decide to factor in everything that's happened this season and give him another year. Because going with the analogy that Jarvis gave yesterday of building a house, if you're still changing the contractor for your plumbing, electricity, and all that, you don't just go and buy all your furniture or something. You have to do it, piecemeal. So I would understand if they give him some more time, but for me, left to me, if they sack him tomorrow morning, I'm indifferent. Like, I'm no longer defending Ten Hag. All I'm doing now is adding context. So honestly, either way, sack him, no sack him, makes no difference to me. I wouldn't base the decision on FA Cup, because we've seen enough. If you want to sack him, I feel like you've seen enough right now to sack him. And if you want to keep him, nothing will change your mind about keeping him.
But it's not about just sacking Ten Hag. It's about sacking the whole coaching team and the structure around Ten Hag. So it will cost more than 10 million. I heard rumors about 20 million.
Yeah, I mean that's something that they would have to consider as well. And I've never been convinced. Yeah, like I've never been convinced that it's possible or even feasible to shut down everything and start from scratch again. As much as that seems like the most correct idea, since everything is irreparably damaged, that we should scrap it all and start from the beginning. I've never thought of that as a possibility, remote possibility at all, because it's never going to happen. We're never going to sack the entire medical staff and start again. It's never going to happen. We're never going to get rid of all the players. So it's going to have to be cosmetic changes, basically, and which is what makes it such a difficult job, and which is why the managers, people who manage United, get paid millions of dollars every year, because it's a very difficult job. If it was easy, anybody would do it. And I don't think we're going to get what we want, which is the fantasy scenario of clearing out the entire back room, clearing out the entire C-suite, clearing out the entire squad, and starting again. Never going to happen. Never ever. And since they're not committing,
it should happen. It should happen. If these people are serious, it should happen. Let me just
no,
go to Bombay,
and
I'll come back to you, Sean.
They can't possibly do that.
1 second. I just want to go to Bombay, asking the question, and then I'll come back to you. Then you can go into explanation. Bombay, if Ten Hag wins the FA Cup, if do you keep him?
Playing like that, mate, guaranteed we're winning the FA Cup. Do I keep Erik Ten Hag? No, bro. I don't keep Erik Ten Hag. I'll give you my summary very quickly. I don't think it's just Erik Ten Hag. but I think he's a massive part of the reason why we're shit because he's lost the reins. I don't. What he's trying to do with what he has is not working. He doesn't have what he needs. Perhaps. I mean, Jarvis. He said, just as I caught the tail end of that. I can't understand why he plays Marcus Rashford in this team as one example. And if people can't understand it, but he persists with it to his own detriment on a weekly basis, then I don't know what you are expecting me to do with you, Eric. I want to give you my adoration. I want to give you my love. I want to give you my undying support, but you don't make it easy. Are you stubborn? You can't be thick as pig shit like this, like Jarvis said. So all you're leaving me with is not much change over the course of, I don't know, 50 games. It's been more or less the same shit every week. The statistics back that up. And the mentality of this team is so weak. I think, they score a goal today with 20 minutes to go. You're winning 3-0, I think. And, crowd gets up a little bit. And you're thinking, oh, have we got a game here? Or United going to go and make it 4-1? No. Get the second goal. And then our players really shit their pants. And you can see they shit it and shrunk and they were scared because Coventry were getting more and more and more and more. So there's nothing really there to warrant a third season anyway. And if you win the FA Cup, it would just be a wonderful, thank you very much. Take care. Unless we win the FA Cup and play City off the park, maybe you can do a miracle in a game, but it's going to be 6s and 7s, a scraper, or it's going to be a good pumping. So, let's not just live in the dream. The reality is it could be a thumping. And that will be your send-off. And it's not, I swear, it's never personal with managers. It's not about being right. Mick said something yesterday, Bummaye, how would you feel if we got to the middle of next season or the end of the season and we were playing great and top 4? What would you say then? I'd say, guys, thank you for being, the voice of sense and hanging on to what is a wonderful manager. I will quietly take a seat and won't speak, but I just don't believe that. And
you've seen enough.
I have, man. I have seen enough, Jarvis. I have seen enough, bro. And I just want to, part of me wants a change. Nagelsmann is not somebody I'd ordinarily look at, but I'd be very interested in a wild man like Nagelsmann as just, and his enthusiasm, his unorthodox way of approaching things, and just a radical change. That's how much I want a change, that I'd be prepared for a radical change. Let's go on this roller coaster, take us. And it's
And
just that
then we'll be back here in 2 years. In 2 years.
Yeah, one of the biggest problems
Can
okay.
Can I just hit you with the breaking news? So-called breaking news anyway. Jim Radcliffe asked Thomas Tuchel about his commitment to Man UFC next season if Eric Ten Hag leaves in the summer. Radcliffe values Tuchel highly. This is some guy called Gross something. No, this is just a
kicker.
No, this is bullshit. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Sorry, guys. Sorry for hitting you with that. Apologies.
Kicker is a well-known football magazine in Germany, so they are well renowned.
Yeah,
I know that. For them, it's not bullshit.
I just think it's bullshit. I think it's too convenient for them to get to clickbait the United fans, Jarvis. And I do not want Thomas Tuchel. But actually, I'll stay with you. Do you want Thomas Tuchel?
No, because as I was trying to say, the biggest problem now, if we get rid of Ten Hag, is what do we do with all the Ten Hag signings? Because they have been brought in to play a specific way. And if you bring in, for example, Thomas Tuchel plays a different way, it's more pragmatic, it doesn't suit our style. So then we are back to scratch and we need to get rid of those players too. So in a way, I would like to see a manager with the same type of ideas as Ten Hag, so we don't have to change everything up. As we've spoken about De Zerbi, I think a lot of the Ten Hag signings could work with the De Zerbi style of football. So De Zerbi or Michel from Girona for me.
Do you think
Yeah.
the next manager that comes in is going to come in and be told, "Hey, anything you want, man. This is Man United. You've got it." Or is there going to be? Or is there going to be? Listen, these are your players, right? Don't take this job if you can't make us win with a lot of these players. And I'm going to give you, a couple of 100 mil, the usual. But I'm not changing the whole team for you. I'm not changing 10 players. Don't take it unless you think that. I mean, I think that's a more realistic conversation that United will have with any manager before he takes a job. And he will know his commitments on what his
Jarvis,
remit
sorry,
is.
sorry, but you are 1,000% correct, which is what the point I keep trying to make, that people need to temper the expectations as to what is possible, basically, from United this summer and in the future, in the near future at least.
The
Any
reason
manager
I'm
that
saying
comes.
that is because, Sean, yes, your point touches the nerve. I touched the nerve of your point too. I understand temper the expectations, but when a manager comes in to take a job, they can't say to him one thing and do a complete opposite, and then he will stand there and take the bullets when he should and he shouldn't. I think maybe a more realistic conversation is the guy from Girona, Thomas Tuchel, Conte, I don't know, Flicky, Hansi comes in. You say
Hansi Flick.
Hansi
Flicker.
Flick, Hansi Flick, and then at a flick
But
of a switch,
regardless
they
of what,
turn on the guy.
I like
but my,
Hansi.
regardless of what
Flicky
the manager has
Hansi.
promised, right?
The,
The
the,
market,
the,
the market
the,
will
co-
also dictate
well,
what happens. Like
it does,
willing
but
buyer, willing seller. What kind
what,
of players can we get to come to the club in the summer? Given that we don't have Champions
oh,
League, what
what I
happens
say,
if we're going for
it,
the same player as another club and the player chooses to go somewhere else, and then the manager has to reevaluate how long do we spend in the summer chasing down one player or the other? A lot is riding on Ineos's ability to have a successful transfer window, both incomings and outgoings.
I
Which
think,
who
look,
is the manager you want to put in that situation, basically?
what I'd say is, as long as a manager is made aware, we will go for these targets. We will promise you that we will try and do this and we will work together with you. But there are certain, if you want to change 10, 20 players, man, then maybe you're not the right guy. We're not willing to do that. That could take 4 transfer windows, and we want to see progression after, 3, 4 months. These are the
What
points
is
we'd like you to
cat?
hit.
I don't think
So
any manager can survive 4 years.
as long as there is a transparency about our club and the manager takes the job on the basis of that transparency, then I think it is a good beginning irrespective. If you do what we heard Van Gaal say, which is, man, they were bringing me third, fourth, fifth choice. I thought this was Man United. Or if you do what Mourinho say, which is, when you go into a new house, you want to put your own stamp on it and bring some new furniture. But the
Boumbaye.
club wasn't letting me to do new. Do you know what I mean? It
Boumbaye.
seems like
Go
there's
ahead,
a
Jarvis.
disconnect.
Boumbaye, why do you think there's no transparency when it comes to this club? Because we are publicly listed on New York Stock Exchange. The shareholders won't accept us coming out and say we will down tools and for 2 or 3 or 4 years and just play the youth and stuff like that, because the value of the stock will plummet. And we have a lot of big deals with Adidas and Kohler and whatever, Snapdragon, you name it.
Yeah, yeah.
And they won't accept putting in hundreds of millions in a team that will down tool. Everything is written in contracts. So they demand success every season, and the pressure is there because we're a business, we're not a football club.
What
And
kind
this
of
is our biggest
success, though?
problem.
Because
That's
No,
our
we are
biggest problem.
both now.
It all
We-
goes back to that. All goes back to that, Jarvis. All of it.
Yeah.
Every way you slice it up, every
But
way
what
you
success?
chop it up,
for Man
it comes
United,
back to
Dino,
who.
Jarvis, what is that success? Because we're looking at a very unsuccessful season, a barren one. What does
Yeah.
success mean for them?
For me, just before everybody goes, for
Big up
me,
Alien
I feel
Channel.
like
Mr. Beast can fix it. Come on, Beastie lad.
Bring Tonka with him.
for me, yeah, I think you can only analyze a trend, quote unquote, with enough time or over a long period of time. Like I said before, if they keep Ten Hag, I'm fine. If they sack Ten Hag, I'm fine. Either way, I don't feel I don't
You're
feel strongly
fine.
about
You're
backing the
fine.
manager,
I love it.
necessarily
You're
like in
fine.
that way because I think with the right amount, with the right players, Ten Hag could do something. But I also criticize Ten Hag for not making do with what he has here. I can understand, different from everybody, I can understand some of the decisions that he makes, even though I don't necessarily agree with them. I can understand the politics of a dressing room that will lead you to play the more senior players because they are senior players, not necessarily because they are playing the best football. I understand all of that. I feel like in real life, that happens all the time, that people, because of their popularity, get things that they don't deserve. Nobody likes it when it happens. Nobody's happy about it when it happens, but this is real life and it happens sometimes. Ten Hag has a huge responsibility, not just him, Ineos, basically, whoever's running the club, has a huge responsibility in the summer. Because what is missing from this team is leadership. I don't think any manager can solve that problem. It has to come from within those players, and it has to come from them facing consequences for their actions. And that is where Ten Hag has failed. Basically, Ten Hag has not extracted consequences from anybody for playing poorly. From Bruno, from Rashford, only easy targets like Maguire, McTominay, Anthony, Garnacho ever face any consequences. Onana didn't face any consequence early in the season when he was shit. Rashford hasn't faced any consequence for playing shit throughout the season. So has Bruno Fernandes. If Ten Hag no longer has control of the squad, if he has lost the dressing room, then there's no hope for him at all. But you're probably going to get a situation next year where any manager that comes likely would have to work with Rashford and or Bruno, both of them. He would likely have to still work with Luke Shaw, with Wan-Bissaka, with Dalot, with a lot of these guys that many people are complaining about right now. So, I don't see anything necessarily wrong in allowing this Ten Hag's contract to
It's
expire
interesting,
for
Sean. So
another
you're not
year.
complaining about them, Sean. You're not
No,
complaining about those players.
I'm complaining about them, but I can see a world in which they are still here, right? Because for me, football is such a funny thing, and I think we saw today just how fickle football is, where there's a clear quality, a clear gap in quality between the United team and the Coventry team. But the moment momentum shifted, Coventry looked like prime Barcelona. That should tell you all you need to know about the effect of confidence and belief on a team's football play. When you're in form, when you're feeling good, your passes connect. Your passes are weighted properly. They are more intelligent. You're running. You just find yourself lucky in positions. That confidence, that courage, that bravery is what is missing from this United team. So, like whichever manager we bring in, whatever we do basically over the summer has to be towards restoring that belief in the team and having a team of fighters, of people who are there because they want to be there and who deserve the position that they have, not because their name is one thing or the other. That's why,
And
for
that's
me, for
why,
example,
and that's why
Rashford needs to go.
I would spend
Yeah.
majority of the summer transfer buying out contracts in Tala.
Can I ask you
Yeah,
guys
yeah, but
something?
going back to the point, and Boma, real quick, just the point that
Sorry.
Javis brought up. These guys have when they're a company that listed on the stock exchange, right? It means that it's a publicly traded company. What that means is that the people who run the company have a fiduciary responsibility to make money. Like that responsibility trumps any ethical concern, trumps any moral concern of theirs. Their first and foremost legally binding duty is to make money for the club. So there's no situation in which the club deliberately takes a loss on anything that they're doing towards any type of future, success, given that success is not guaranteed. They have to, on a yearly basis, they have to work out a situation where the books are in the green. Like they have to find a way to do it. So there is no world in which is why I don't know, like, unless we want to just be angry as a fan base forever, we have to adjust our expectations from what we think is possible and what is not. There is no world in which we spend money to buy out contracts. It is not going to happen. We have to get value from these players that we have in the team. So that is why, hopefully, if they bring in any of these guys, technical director, recruitment experts, Dan Ashworth, whoever, your job is to go into the market, use your contacts, and find clubs who are willing to pay reasonable fees for the players that we have. That is the expertise that we're looking for right now. People with somebody with a very strong Rolodex, somebody who wouldn't miss a call, because I think they said the United team sometimes they call and nobody's answering the phone. Basically, I think some agent said they were trying to get one of their players to United and they couldn't get in touch with us. So somebody's people with the right connections, people with the right contacts, people who know how to deal in the market, who can offload our players. But we're not going to pay out anybody's contract. We have to get value for them, and good value too at that.
Yeah, yeah. I just have a quick question when it comes to sacking Ten Hag or not. I'm trying to create a list. I'm just writing down pros and cons for a new manager or not. And the pros that I have so far is a new beginning, fresh ideas, Ineos getter man, and we have a chance of a new beginning. But the cons is we go with a new assessment period. It gives the players a free pass. Ten Hag will be the fall guy, and it will cost a lot of money. So, we have to see it in a sensible way. I'm not saying we have to keep Ten Hag, but there's both pros and cons with both of these things, and we got to take that into consideration.
It's not. Listen, it's complicated as a lot of these may.
Oh, you're on mute.
Mute what you're watching, not yourself.
Manchester United. No, somebody just sent me something and I just clicked on it by accident. My messages checking because I invited a couple of people to come on, but they couldn't come on tonight. Just to say this, it's simple, people. It's not as complicated as you think. Ralph Ranić told us Manchester United need an open heart surgery. We need 10 players out and bring in 10 players in. He said, look for first contract or second contract players. He said, look for a specific style of play. Hire a manager that wants to play. Bring in players that want to play that style. It's not as complicated as some of you are making it out. It's not. But
that's what they did with Ten Hag.
Let me finish. Do the Glazers have the stomach and do they have the money to put up to go and do what they follow through? Not by, like Ranić said, little dressing here and there, little dressing in there. No. Do they, this summer, do it properly? For me, those players who got contracts, they need to be paid out. They need to be fucked off. Simple. You get a manager, then in January transfer window, you get in 3 players. In the summer again, you bought in about 5 players. And then you've got 8 already within 2 transfer windows. It makes a big difference. Let me just get this. Adual is the next manager, if he's smart, will sign the starting level players, even if it's only 4 or 5, allow these players to get into the starting lineup immediately. Ten Hag didn't do it. Yeah, of course he didn't do it. And we said that at that time. That's what we needed. Bumbai was saying something.
Yeah, I mean, in the Premier League, we're the only club listed on the stock exchange, but in world football, there's like...
By the way, let me just get this. Listen. Let me just get this in. Jim the Rat's coming. Put up the season ticket prices. Move fans from seats to create very low price Red Devil season ticket. And that's just the start. That's just the start, people. 100%. So when people tell you, those who are going to the matches have noticed this, they're moving people who have been in seats for 20 years, 30 years. They're moving them because those are worth more to the way the club does. So what they call it, ticket touting. The club, remember against Galatasaray at home, when there was Galatasaray fans, who do you think sold those tickets to the fans? The club, £1,000 on the website. Go ahead, Mbomai.
I mean, there are quite a few teams listed on the stock exchange that seem to do a decent job with it. We're not the only ones. Ajax, Juventus, Roma, Benfica, Dortmund. They still do good. I think if Jim is going to do this stuff, putting prices up and things like that, if he's doing it to raise money to actually execute certain plan, that might offset the distasteful way in which things are being done. Because I don't know if there is a lot of money with FFP. But with regards to the players, do you guys think players like Marcus Rashford and Bruno and Diogo Dalot, do you think they're shit players in general? Or do you think that they are not shit players, but the way that they're playing under Erik Ten Hag, they are shit? And they are always playing in the same position, in the same setup for the whole season. Now, this is important question because I don't think Marcus Rashford is a shit player. I think Marcus Rashford is a very good player. I think Bruno is a top player. I think Delo is a
They're not
guy.
shit.
I think Delo is a guy I'd definitely keep. I think Wan-Bissaka is somebody that I would look to keep as well. There's a lot of players there that I like. I think they're genuinely good players, but this season, nobody apart from Kobe Mainu really. I think Diogo Delo and maybe one or two others you could say have had a good season. Garnacho, I think, has had a good year. Hoyland's had an okay year. He's disappeared again. But they're not shit players. They're good enough to play for us, I believe, and they have
They're not
done it
shit,
in the
Pumaye.
past.
They're
So,
not shit at all. They just
so
have an inflated sense of their own value, which has
I mean,
been, endorsed by Ten Hag. That's
I
it. They just
mean,
have an inflated sense of their worth, of their value, and no, Ten Hag is not holding them accountable because he keeps playing them instead of dropping them. So
so
they don't feel any responsibility to step up their game or to be consistent.
so if we got another guy, I feel that there is a lot there that he can work with, as well as add a few players. The plan to buy everybody's contract out is a lot of money. That we're talking in, the tens of millions of pounds, simply as an expenditure with nothing coming in, and that would really put a chokehold on us to actually realistically sign other players. So I think it's got to be done slowly, but as it's done, you have to see the added value in the work that you're doing and the personnel you're bringing in and the personnel that you're letting go. And I feel that the people that come in, hopefully, I
No,
always go
but
back to Michael
there's a
Edwards.
character problem too, an integrity problem too, because even though Maguire is not a good player, that's the type of character you want in your dressing room. Somebody whose response to being put out of the team is not to whine or cry like a little bitch, but to get their head down, knuckle up tie their shoelaces, and work hard. That attitude too is important. So players like Rashford and Bruno Fernandes, who only want to hear good things about them, they don't want to hear any criticism. They only want to hear good things. Players like Sancho, and I hate to bring him up, guys like Pogba too. I just whispered that quietly. But the issue is the character as well, not necessarily even just that you need a new manager or something. Because if you have players who feel like because of the fan base that they have, their own player FC or whatever, you shouldn't like they have to play or they must be treated in a certain
Uh,
way, or that if
I
you
get,
bench them, they are sticking up the dressing room. That's
I
the problem.
understand the profile of the player. I get you. We have changed the profile of the players that we've bought. Anyway, we didn't sign any more Paul Pogba. We haven't signed any more Di Maria. We changed the profile of the player. Look at the team that starts. Wan-Bissaka is a different
We still
profile
have
to
some of
what
them in
you
the
have.
squad.
You do. I mean, the ones that we're talking about, some of them that we have are two players, really. They're the ones that bear the 90% of the weekly criticism. McTominay doesn't bear any more criticism.
That thing
Only
is infectious for me. It's
um,
infectious and it seeps through the entire team, right? It's infectious. It's that picture was it against Chelsea when everybody was pointing to somebody else
Hmm.
and nobody moved. Nobody moved to the space. That's that failure of leadership. It comes from up down. It's from Ten Hag, who sets the standard of not holding people accountable. It comes through the captain whose response is overly emotional all the time and is always whining, doesn't seem moderated. If it seeps to the star player Rashford, who is not delivering, and for some reason nobody can hold him accountable, nobody can tell him otherwise. Otherwise, he'll go and do a
do you
documentary and
think?
talk
Do you
about how we're
think?
all
Okay.
being
Do
mean to
you
him.
do you believe that? I remember Van Gaal dropped Rooney. I remember he messed with Di Maria. I remember Mourinho was benching Pogba. He was benching Martial. He was, they weren't afraid. They would play the players that they wanted to.
Ruben van
So I
Persie.
don't. Sorry.
Yeah, and he shipped out Ruben van Persie, Van Gaal.
As well. So I think maybe it's a stretch too far for me to embellish that there are terms that are being dictated. You have to play him, or you have to do this. Maybe he genuinely believes that these guys are too good to leave out, in spite of the fact
But
that they
like
play no
look
good.
what happened to
And
all those managers now.
and
They lost
and,
the
and
dressing room.
well, what happened with those managers is that Van Gaal, I don't know if he lost the dressing room, but there was a lot of whining
Mourinho.
about his football, and then
Yeah.
their eyes lit up, with the opportunity, and they scrapped what was a very good thing. Then Mourinho came. Yes, he lost the battle to a few key players. That was a bad mistake on the club. But now we're here at Ten Hag. Where, given past examples, is he being told you have to play Bruno and Rashford every week? I don't think I believe that, guys. I really don't. You know, some of this stuff for me is a bit far fetched. What I think is happening is Eric believes in what he's doing, and it is in the best interest of this group of players collectively. Now, if he'd tried it for 10 games, 15 games, we've seen long enough to try it, to see if it's working, to see the response, blah blah blah. And if it was working, great, but it's not. But it's all you ever seem to do. We have our flat back four, we have our midfield three, and then we have the three deployed. We try and play out from the back. As soon as that stops, we start going long. We're trying to isolate the wingers, get an over. It's not working, and they're not great at doing it either. And sometimes I feel that maybe players like this that have had a lot better times than Eric Ten Hag previously, better seasons, better numbers, better performances, been stood up and counted. I feel that he's losing them a little bit now. Look at Garnacho today. Look at the substitution. He's walking off like a little kid, shaking his head. He's saying, I can tell he's swearing in Spanish, saying puto or whatever.
No, but Buma, when do you judge a player like that? Do you judge them when things are going good, or you judge them when the going gets tough? Which is a truer test of the character?
I judge them, bro. Everything is. You can judge the manager, you can judge the players, you can judge the togetherness, you can judge everything when you're in a hole and can you get back out. Every manager's great when it's going well, but I feel this kind of petulance is much more prevalent with United, and I mentioned this last night. The manager, bro, I can't see past him when it comes to building something, building a mentality.
Do you think he's the one enabling the petulance?
He's not an enabler, because no manager wants petulance.
Listen, guys, it's the culture. It's the culture of Manchester United.
It's a culture, and you've got to change that culture.
Where is the culture coming from, in your guys' opinion?
From the fucking top. Yeah. From the top upwards to everything down. That's why when you own a football club, you have fucking put people in place that understand what the culture means. Instead, we've got fucking bankers, which you support, Sean, and you're not fucking trying to run away from that. You're not getting away from that. Which you support, which you back.
I don't support this. I just don't agree that it's an. I just don't think it's an anomaly, or in of itself, it's a bad thing.
So we know where it all lies. Listen,
like I was a banker. Being a banker is not a pejorative. That's my problem. Like the way we say, we say banker, like I should say.
You don't put, but listen, bankers, they've been bankers. Deal with bank things, not in charge of one of the biggest fucking football clubs in the world. But we are the way we are. We're Dino, listen to me. No, but let me finish. I don't see it changing anytime soon. So we can go around houses again and again, guys. But Alien Tenno summed it up. Let me see if I can find it. Pick up Alien Tenno. He basically said, putting up fucking prices.
You mean he agreed with you?
No, he didn't agree with me. No, we just said about Ineos coming in, and that's just the start to come. What Jim's doing already, putting up ticket prices, moving people in the places where they sat for 30 years, and then trying to get more money out of them, where the club is selling on match day, selling for tickets for £1,000. That's why you've got opposition fans sitting within our own fans. It's incredible what we witness. I came back here after Galatasaray home, told you guys. Yeah. I saw what was happening. People fighting, and I was trying to stop people from hitting these poor Galatasaray fans coming into City, and that was the club. Then United fans organised a protest the next game, and everybody was outside there. So listen, it is what it is, guys.
Are we the only one that have put up our prices, bro? I mean, prices everything is going up.
No, we're not the only ones.
No, listen, we're not the only ones. But in terms of changing and selling tickets on the website on match day, it's fucking shocking. It's absolutely shocking.
Just some context, right? For that ticket thing, in America right now, the U.S. Congress is holding hearings on Ticketmaster, because generally any large gathering that involves mass tickets, there is a racket happening where basically an algorithm is buying the tickets online in bulk and then marking up the prices like ×3. there's some type of like conspiracy business that's happening with tickets generally worldwide. So I wouldn't be too harsh on Sir Jim, poor Sir Jim, when it comes to the specific, ticket issue. But I agree with you on the larger context.
Yeah.
He has a lot of how do I put it now, credit to earn with United fans because I think right now it's all negative towards them, and if they don't want to end up like the Glazers quickly, they have to show they're working. They are showing some workings with the technical staff that they're bringing in, which are all best in
Yes.
class, ostensibly.
Yes, Jamie.
They are showing some things there, but I think the transfer window with the players will be very important. Who do we get rid of? How quickly do we sign players? What kind of stories do we hear in the summer? Do we spend 6 months, in Spain looking for the young, even though the young doesn't want to come? Do we do this type of nonsense basically that we do? Do we get more players like Højlund, or do we get experienced strikers in? A lot will be determined this summer.
Need a mixture, man. Need a mixture of players, boys. It's not all about just youth. It's not. You need a mixture. And
listen. At the end of the day, no players want to come to Manchester United anyway. Listen, we could go on all we want. George exactly in nonsense saying players must have it in their contracts that they must start. Well, that happens. It happens in football. Yes, it does. It happens. But big up to everybody. Love and like. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Which has been the most embarrassing win I have ever experienced. I have never watched a game be so embarrassed to a Manchester United to win. Never in my life. I'm usually glad that Manchester United win things on penalties. I'm usually celebrating. I was deflated at the end of the game. And it was just embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. It was unbelievable. But big up to everybody. Love and light. Last word.
Wembley. We're the famous Man United and we're going to Wembley.
Big up Sean. He's the only one that's happy. But you know what, Sean? He takes one, doesn't he? He takes one. So go ahead, Jarvis. Last word of the show. And by the way, Jarvis is live tomorrow at 9 o'clock, Jarvis Corner. Make sure you check him out.
Right on. Jarvis's Corner, 9 p.m.
Yeah, Bowley 77. I'm trying to write it onto his thing, but it's not letting me do it. Oh, God,
it's okay. That's okay. If people want to follow me on Twitter, that's okay. If not, But I just saw an interview on TikTok actually with Sir Jim Ratcliffe talking about the problems getting a new structure into the club, the problems with gardening leaves. Things take 6 months, 12 months.
He's making excuses already. He owns football clubs. Does he not understand how football works, Jarvis? Does he not understand that?
Actually, when telling this is how football works, and that's the problem. This is what he's saying in this interview. So people just check it out. He's interviewed in I think when he came into after finishing the marathon. So we are in the trouble, and I think people need to adjust their timelines. It's not going to be fixed in one window. It will take a couple of years.
No, it doesn't. At least. Five windows, Jarvis. 5. My words.
Yeah. I think that's a little bit delusional.
No, to build a squad, 5 proper squad, 5 windows. 5
windows.
But
if we don't have the structure in place, Nuruddin, because we don't have the right people in, we can't build the squad. If we don't have Ashford, Wilcox, Berada, all of these guys, who are we going to trust signing these players? Fletcher? This is one of the biggest problems because
I'd rather trust you, Jarvis. I'd rather trust you more than
Thank you.
Yeah. Nice one, Jarvis. Sean, last word of the show.
Wembley. We're the famous Man United and we're going to Wembley. It's shit game today. Disappointing for Coventry, but good for us. And if we go to the final, I'll be excited. Looking forward to it, honestly. To find out it's a team I love to watch, I'll be hopeful.
Bombaye.
No joke.
And the show, everybody singing. 1, 2, 3.
Oh dear. I mean, I was just laughing. I had myself on mute. I remember Ten Hag's face when the fourth one went in. The camera zoomed in. He was clenching teeth.
He was about to cry.
Oh man, it was. Do you know what I feel for the guy? Look, he's not done enough to have an extension. Yeah, I understand there's a lot of problems. This club is so badly run and in need of so much help, and it has a knock-on effect. I mean, we've had some great managers here, and they've all had problems, and he's no exception because things haven't changed while he's been here. I think he's a good coach. I think he's a good manager. He has done some good things, but I feel he lost his way, and I don't feel it's too little, too late. If he's here next year, then this is how it'll go. It'll go with he'll have my full backing because he's here. Nothing else you can do. And then at least we can completely put things to bed proper. We have a summer transfer window. We'll see what we get, what happens. And then we go. So within a few months, I'll be looking to, right, the football is there now, man. You know what I mean? It's getting it. It's getting all right. I can see us. We're going somewhere. Get behind him. Or we'll just be as we are pretty much, poor results, ugly football, and then it will be pulled the trigger time and you bring in another manager. That's pretty much all we can do with this. I'm not hounding him out. I don't hate him or anything. That a million miles from that. This is just my feelings from what I've observed, from what I think you could have done, and I also feel that with this group of players, even you have a different manager in. We have a different performance level. We get more out of this team because a lot of our disasters have come against shit opposition. Today was a very big example to you. You saw the game at Newport. You've seen the game at Bournemouth, Brentford, Everton, Burnley. You know, the long list, man, of poor teams that have given us a lot of trouble and we've scraped over. And when we've scraped over, sometimes I get Eric, you know, he might not tell you the truth of what you want to hear, but there is an element of he don't want to shit all over himself and the players. He's got to give them some confidence. The idea, Mourinho explains it, is convince them they're better game by game and make them feel like you're one of them. You know, I'm here to protect you. I'm not going to kill you. That's why I think he remains patient with a lot of players and is very good at dealing with the Garnacho, the Rashford. Look, it's done. We've said sorry. We're moving on. What do you want to have about football? There's a lot of good things there. And it would but it's just not happened, man. We're not progressed, guys. You know, we're stationary, we're stagnated. And this is why I'm scared to say, Eric, here's the next funds. Go and get some more players that you like.
No.
Do you know what I mean? It's scary for me. So
I think we saw that. Listen,
let's see.
Big up to everybody. Like I said, please make sure you follow everyone. Here we go. Jarvis, Cocker, Bowley 77. Jarvis Corner, 9 o'clock on Mondays at Man UFC Realist TV. Sean Thomas at Sean Thomas, How We See Things podcast. All podcast providers. Bombay, you never hear from him any other than that. Maybe he'll be on Man UFC TV now and again. He'll be on here. At the end of the day, it's simple. Manchester United are shit. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed to look at other football fans in the face. I can't even look at myself in the fucking face after a shit show like that, what we produced today. I want to big up Coventry City. I want to pick up their coaching staff, their manager, their fans.
Mark Robbins,
and they made their city proud. And it would have been a fitting tribute for them to play that final.
Yeah.
At the end, the FA cheated them because I didn't think he was offside. I thought him, and when I watched it the first time, I didn't think he was offside. And yeah, they were just unlucky. But we're just thieves, man. That's what we do. Yeah. We just steal at the end of the day. And it's not a way, so I'm not excited about. I'm not singing Wembley. I'm not Wembley. I'm not singing any of that shit. I'm just like, what the fuck?
If you're gonna sing now, because on the day, man.
I'm not singing anything on the day or nothing. Somebody said to me, if you make it to the final, you come in. We're going to the final. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go to get fucking embarrassed. I don't trust these players. I don't trust this manager. I don't trust these clowns. So I'll answer the question. Eric Ten Hag, win or lose the final, fuck off out of my football club. Simple. But while we're there, fuck the Zionists. I'm sorry, Jarvis, I have to say it. He's embarrassing us. He's embarrassing us weekly. And he's not learning. He's actually doubling down. And it's fucking embarrassing.
Stubborn. And the next embarrassment is Wednesday against Sheffield United. Be prepared, guys.
There you go. Big up to you. Big up to everybody in the chat. Please let me know how many likes we got before we sign off. And we say, fuck the Zionist state, still slaughtering people in Rafah, attacking Rafah, the US sending fucking military, more money and more military, and the Britain doing exactly the same, Germany doing exactly the same. You've all got blood on your hands. You all got blood on your hands. All those weapon manufacturers, your profits are covered in Palestinian fucking blood, Sudanese blood, Sudanese fucking blood, Congolese blood, people from Tigray region blood, Ogaden blood. All of your hands are fucking covered. All your profits are covered in blood, and you're just nothing but warmongers, fucking bastards. That's all you are. But for the Zionists and anybody who's supporting this Zionist state, the racist state, right, supporting what they're doing in the Middle East, bombing 3 or 4 countries at the same time, it's unbelievable to me. Nothing has changed from imperialist Western countries. Nothing has colonization. You're just thieving bastards. If potatoes grew in the Middle East, none of you will be there. None of you will be there. So fuck you and everything you fucking stand for. You fucking Zionist warmongering bastards. Peace, love, light, fever Palestina, fever the Congo, free fucking Sudan, free the Tigray region, free the fucking people in Ogaden. And wherever people are oppressed around this world. And we fucking support and hail the people who are resisting to all of those wars, wherever they are in this world. Peace, love, light. No peace, no fucking liberation. No liberation, no peace. It's simple. No liberation, no peace. Fuck your fucking justice. Take care, people. Love.
Big up,
Good
guys.
night.
So.
Jarvis Corner tomorrow night. Man UFC
9
Realist
o'clock.
TV. The show to watch. Peace.